Okay. Connecting community in Putney. Next slide, please. Hi, my name is Charlie Lasky. I'm 17. I'm from Dublin, New Hampshire. I attend a small progressive school in Putney, Vermont, and among other things, I'm committed to social justice. Stay on the other side, please. It's significant to mention.
Sorry, it doesn't go backwards, it only goes forwards.
Oh, it's totally okay. It's significant to mention that Putney is a boarding school and I am a day student because that places me in two worlds, the Putney school community and the local community. I spend a lot of time in the school community, but I also leave every day, so I have inside and outside perspectives. Next slide. Putney is committed to supporting the leadership potential of all of its students, and it attracts people who are creative and willing to work. But like everywhere, it has its problems, one of them being diversity, equity, and inclusion. Next slide. Being at boarding school, it can be a very isolating experience. And on top of that, Putney is quite literally located on top of a hill in a very rural area, and there is not much experience. There's not much opportunity to experience what life looks like off campus. Next slide, please. Students play a big part in the leadership and organization of the school, and leadership is defined both expansively and creatively. So there's lots of room for many ways of thinking. The idea of diversity is one that my school has been working on, especially how to uphold and create spaces for multiplicity on campus. Students are expected to take on leadership roles, whether it's working to support our farm, cooking the food we eat, taking roles in committees, and even participating on the board of trustees. Across all levels, there is both expectation and responsibility to the progress and sustainability of our community. My interests lie with a small yet dedicated team focused on diversity, and particularly how to uphold and create spaces for diversity of all kinds on campus. Next slide, please. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. I chose Putney because I knew I wanted to be more true to myself, and I didn't see that happening at my local public school or other prep schools. Many people I know came here for similar reasons and have had relative ease in finding space in people. This group, a picture of me and the other dancers at Putney, was an entry point for me, a place where I began to feel like I belonged. At first glance, Putney seems like it's doing all of the work it needs to. Many students think there's already plenty of diversity. However, I noticed there is a lack of awareness around the complexity of what diversity is and a lack of comfort for those who are less represented at the school. This makes it even harder for those who don't feel like they have space at school. Putney strives to always support each other, but like anywhere, it is isolating when you lack a sense of belonging. Finding ways to understand this complexity and communicate in engaging ways has proven difficult, and we are becoming stagnant in our progress. A really cool and wise person who just so happens to be my mom always says that if something isn't fun for everyone, it isn't fun. Some changes need to happen in order for everyone on our campus to feel like they belong, and we have only been searching for solutions inside of our small community. Next slide. The Root Social Justice Center is a local organization working on recognizing and expanding the diversity in our community, and Youth for Change is a subgroup within them focusing on upholding youth voices. They are located in Brattleboro, which is a small city less than 20 minutes away from Putney. Next slide, please. For my project, I want to address the idea of fostering spaces for all kinds of diversity while also creating connections between Putney School and the local community, specifically Youth for Change. Next slide, please. By stepping off the hill and connecting with Youth for Change, we can at least become aware of each other's projects and hopefully create new projects together. Next slide, please. Here is the simple goal of my project: creating positive connections. By creating connections, we can support and learn from each other, expand the conversation, create new spaces for belonging, and have large impacts. I hope to create an ongoing sustainable connection between these two communities and create a more open atmosphere that fosters a more complex idea of what diversity is and an awareness of the advantages of new ways of thinking. Next slide, please. Beginning steps are forming a core group of teens from both communities, which is in process, building trust, which is in process, assessment of needs and priorities, coordination of busy schedules, and deciding on doable projects. This project's aim is ongoing committed collaboration with goals established as needs are expressed. My ideas are to start by joining them on their bi-monthly Youth for Change meetings in order to bond and build connections, then create our own monthly meetings, rotating between the Root Social Justice Center and the Putney School. Once we create a relationship and regularity to our team, I hope to create events and continue to foster space for diversity, reaching beyond both of our smaller communities. One dream of mine would also be to invite a guest speaker like Alok, where we would host workshops like talks, poetry sessions, and performances for more of the local community to get involved in. Next slide, please. So to conclude, the Putney School and Youth for Change has the opportunity for spectacular potential. Next slide, please. And this is my GoFundMe. And as of now, I have a minimal budget of $420, which would cover the cost of pizza and transportation for the first 6 months of meetings. And after that, as our collaboration solidifies and our projects unfold, we would fundraise based on each project. So I'm grateful for your attention, and I will answer any